don't care about women's money. We don't care about women's competence. We don't care about women's height. We don't care about all the things that you care about in a man. Attraction isn't symmetrical, it's asymmetrical. So you became the man that you want. So all these other guys that you're meeting, they don't qualify for you. But the only guy that did meet your standards, guess what? You didn't qualify for him.
I don't want a man who's only going to judge me based on my size.
You just called him short. We don't want a woman that's only gonna base us based off our height. I'm 6'4", he's 5'8".
I didn't judge his character.
But okay, but you judge his height and he doesn't qualify for you. The same way he doesn't qualify for you, with your figure, a lot of guys you won't qualify for.
Give me a second. No, he's just...
I was never speaking down on you. I was speaking to the queen in you. All human beings, we got the fool in us or the king or the queen in us. Like the man, he has a fool in him, but he also has a king in him. And that woman should always speak to the king in him. A woman has a fool in her, but she also has a queen in her. Me speaking to the fool in you would have been, you just as good as you are. Those guys are the problem. But I spoke to the queen in you. You could do much better than where you are now. But in this world, it's socially unacceptable for men to speak to the queen in a woman. If we speak in the truth to a woman, it's looked at, you're being negative. You're speaking down on me. You're shaming me. But this podcast, no fugazi, so we got to keep it real.
Anytime anything goes bad or goes wrong or left in my life, I always look in the mirror. I'm like, what could you have done to have not allow this to happen? Or, you know, did you cause this? Are you the problem? Don't think I don't ask myself that question just because I got 4 baby daddies. But, you know.
And how old are your kids?
17, 16, about to be 16, 11 and 2.
So does your mate have to have kids too, or
I
would you
prefer a
that?
man who has children. And that is just new to me now that I've been in the dating world, which has been so hard. It's so ugly out here. I just want to be married. I don't want to be out here no more.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, why? What
like
is your
it.
biggest challenge?
Yeah. What is there something triggering you when you're saying that? Like there's something that's happening?
I don't like how most of these men that I've encountered are in their soft girl era. Like I missed the part where
That's crazy. You try to shame a dude because, you know, he ain't trying to buy what you selling. That's crazy.
men became so feminine. And it's really beginning to, because now it's like, dang, I gotta be hard for the both of us. I'm supposed to be in my feminine power. I'm supposed to be masking that, and I can't be in a relationship with you and I gotta be hard for you too.
Man, how the hell are you gonna be mad at a man for not giving you what you should have required from your 4 baby daddies? You had a chance with baby daddy number 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And you kept striking it out. So now that you didn't make that a requirement for them, you're now going on to a new guy who has no kids with you, and you're expecting for him to give you a soft life. Ma'am, you shouldn't be mad at the dudes that's out there in the game. They're not the ones that did you dirty. It's the guys that you had kids by. You might want to take that up with them.
With masculine women, women with children.
Why is she masculine? Because she's had to raise the kids alone. Not one woman,
So you
brother,
mean to tell me
a whole community.
So you mean to tell me the only woman I could look forward in my life is a masculine woman that has kids by other men?
No,
that's what I have to look forward to.
But I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the abuse, the domestic, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and have to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be-all, in-all in our community for half of a century, and now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
As much as I try to like the guy, every time I hear Dr. Umar, almost every time, he sounds like he's going to go there, like he's going to sound like he's about to make some sense. And then out of nowhere, he gets just loud and wrong. Don't get me wrong. I agree with some of the things that he say, man. But on this one, most definitely, you're just out of touch, Dr. Umar. At the end of the day, it's not my fault that she did not have a feminine example growing up. And because she did not have a feminine example, she doesn't know how to be feminine. It's not my fault that she hasn't decided to go out and find examples of femininity, no matter where it is, and try to absorb some of those characteristics into herself. At the end of the day, people are who they are because they choose to be, no matter how easy or hard they had it in their life.
I had to tell my mom. I said, Mom, this is why I went to Japan to get me a wife.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, don't ruin it. I said, that's why I ain't married no black woman. You know what I'm saying? I told my mom got so mad when I said that. Come on. Like, I asked my wife for a glass of water, and she was pregnant at the time, and she ran to the kitchen to get it and came back. And my mom's like, why you got this girl running to the kitchen? I said, I didn't ask her to run. I just asked her for a water. But that's how they do it. That's I don't know why they do it like that, but they hurry up and get you shit. When you ask her, I asked her really nice, hey, babe, can you get me a glass of water? And she just jogged to the kitchen.
Right.
I don't know why she did
King
that.
treatment.
Yeah.
And my mom was mad. And then from that second on, my mom was in her head. And by the time my mom left, my ex-wife was already acting like a black girl, doing all this. I was like, fuck.
You know what's crazy, right? As he said, he didn't make his wife do this. She chose to do it. And you would imagine that by, his mother being his mother, she'd be content with her son getting that type of treatment. But instead, to see her son get that type of treatment disturbed her to her soul, so much so to where she tried to persuade his wife to not give him that type of treatment. But it begs the question, do some women just not want to see black men be served and happy? I'm just saying, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm all for black love, right? As a matter of fact, I'm all for love who you want to love as long as it makes sense. But it's just something in particular I notice about, certain people just not being happy with a black man being happy. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
If we were dating, would I need to pay for your hair and your nails?
Honestly, yeah. Yeah.
What gives you that mentality?
I mean, like, if you want me to look good, then you gotta pay for it.
But if you were doing it before I came into your life, why do I have to start doing that now that I'm your man?
I would say because you would want me to look good, so you would want me to do those things.
So how much do your nails cost?
Probably like anywhere between 60 to 80, like every 3 weeks.
And hair?
Depending on the hair, sometimes $90, sometimes $1,000.
$1,000?
Yes.
And I would have to foot that as your man?
I mean, if you're not gonna pay for it all, maybe like at least half.
At least half. Why would it cost $1,000 to get your hair done?
Real talk.
If you get like extensions, if you get treatments put in your hair, like, I don't know. I like to have nice hair, so.
Is there ever a time where you would pay for your man's haircut or?
No.
Wow.
No, I'm not paying for his haircut.
And that's because?
Yo, that's crazy. She sat there talking about, well, if you want me to look good, then you should pay for it. But aren't you interested in your man looking good? I mean, you want him to pay for himself to look good, but you feel like if he wants to look good, or should I say if he wants you to look good, then he should pay for that. I don't know. The math ain't mathing. Now, I know some people out here swear by the saying, happy wife, happy life. But I don't do that. And as a matter of fact, I'm willing to say that if you live by that mantra, be prepared to have your life turn out to be a living hell. And this next vid is going to be a prime example of that. Let's go.
So I've seen videos where women are like, well, these kept wives and these soft life women, they don't never tell the bad side. Well, here is the downside from my point of view. I can't speak for other women. I don't know anything about not having control in your house, not having your own money, your husband bossing you around. That's not my situation, but I will tell you the bad side from my point of view. From my POV, I can be very spoiled and entitled, almost to the point where it's disgusting. And I look back on it and I was like, oh my God, I said that. When you're used to men who wait on you hand and foot, you expect that in every situation. And when it does not work out in your favor, you tend to crash out. So story time. I'm making a YouTube. And I feel like YouTube is go hard or go home. It's some heavy hitters over there. Now, TikTok, I don't really care about. People come on here in bonnets with crust in their eyes and plaque on their teeth, and they blow up. So I feel like TikTok is just whatever. But YouTube, I want my lighting to be right. I want everything to be on point. So I told my husband to book a flight to Seychelles and buy me like this really expensive drone. I was going to do like the aerial footage. I was going to have like the ring lights. I got all the outfits. Like a lot of money and planning went into this. So my man does what he do and he books us first class flights to Seychelles. But we had a layover in Dubai. When we get to Dubai's airport, they stop stop us and they're like, you can't bring that drone in this country. We didn't know because the times that we have been to Dubai, we never brought a drone. So they confiscate the drone and they're like, well, you can get it back on your flight out. And my husband was like, we have a very, very early flight tomorrow. Can you please make sure you have this drone? Are you guys going to be open? Because if you're not, my wife is going to be really, really upset. And then that was that. We spent the night at Armani Hotel. We woke up at like 3 a.m., got to the airport by 4, and then we just went through. When we got to the part where security was, they were closed. All the doors were closed. All the lights were off. My husband was like, go sit at the gate and I'm going to run around and try and find somebody to get this drone for you. So I sit at the gate, and the longer I sit at the gate, I'm just getting more and more angry. I'm blowing up his phone. Find it. What is taking so long? Oh my God. I'm feeling like I don't even want to go on this trip anymore. I've been to tons of islands. Seychelles just looks like another beach. Who cares about going to Seychelles? Like, I'm saying all of this stuff and it's like, oh my God, girl. So it's time to board the flight. And they're looking at me like, we'll wait on your husband. We'll wait on your husband. My husband comes and he's like, babe, I'm sorry. I couldn't find anybody. He's drenched in sweat. Like, he's been running around, catching trains, going back and forth through this whole huge airport. Do y'all know I told those people I don't want to go? They literally like held the gate for us. I don't want to go. So we end up going back to Armani Hotel. And at this point, I have an attitude. I'm in the bathroom taking off my makeup. Like, oh my God, this was a waste of time. I don't care about no Seychelles. Do y'all know my husband went in the bathroom, wrapped his arms around me and told me everything is okay. I'm happy as long as I'm with you. We don't have to go to Seychelles. We're still in Dubai. We can have a great time regardless. And this is one of the things I really love about my husband, because I didn't deserve that mercy. I didn't deserve that grace. Literally, if it was me, I would have been like, girl, do you know how many people who would kill to have this type of life where you have a man that's just going to book you a first class flight because you want to make a stupid YouTube and you're so focused on that, fly you all the way over here, and then you catch an attitude. Plus, he can't get his money back for that trip. So that was just a complete waste. I didn't deserve that. And he was so patient and so loving and so kind. And we ended up still having a good time in Dubai.
These fruit snacks are good. All right, guys, what's the takeaway from this, right? You notice how she's basically here on the internet bragging about how she emotionally abuses her husband. Let that sink in for a second, right? The more that you treat her like a queen, the more that she's going to treat you like a pawn, my guy.
Why would I help a man get on his feet if there are men who are already standing up?
Me not, because they're standing up next to the woman that helped him get on his feet. You know, there's nothing wrong with finding a man who's established. I just think that there's nothing wrong either with finding a man who's determined. Your soulmate, your teammate.
I'm 31. I don't have any kids. I got a credit score of 803 exact. Recently pulled. Nice. I have 2 paid off cars. I'm about to close on my first house this year in May.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. So the caption says 31-year-old single woman is trying to figure out why she's still single. And everything that she's reading off right now about her qualifications that makes her so excellent, that's what I'm assuming she's trying to do. Sounds like she's a man talking to a woman. I mean, okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Let's go.
I'm not toxic at all. I got a big booty. I'm releasing an app on iOS and Android. I work hard as fuck. I'm not clingy, but I'll always make sure my partner feels appreciated. Okay, so I don't cook, but I can. I can learn. And it's not like I don't know how to cook, but I just don't cook as much as I should. I'm probably not as feminine as the...
Why am I not surprised?
The average feminine female, but I wear heels, I dress up. I just feel like I have a very dominant personality.
Gotcha. So your idea of being feminine is you cosplaying as a feminine woman, you know, because I guess femininity is now reduced. Well, as a matter of fact, you know, according to certain agendas, femininity is reduced to a costume. I don't know. I'm not trying to get in trouble. Let's continue.
I'm 5'8" in my head, but 5'4" on paper. I've never actually lived with a partner before. I'm just trying to figure out, how am I not married with 5 kids running around. Like, what the fudge am I doing wrong? Most people say, oh, I don't give people a chance. Yes, I do. I have boundaries, though. And I don't let people f me over, I'm going to say more than 3 times, because I give chances. I even give you a second chance. But it's so easy for me to just walk the f out once you start playing with me. But I still don't understand how I'm still single.
Young lady, I'm sorry to break it to you, but there's a great chance that if everything you're saying is true, right, either you're not as awesome as you think you are, or you're full of shit. I mean, either pick your poison.